Welcome to another edition of the Nightly News. Ted, the world is upside down.
Ugly.
You know, I'm looking at some reports as we speak right now. And this is crazy what we're seeing with this cryptocurrency FTX, which is Sam Brinkman-Fried. And I'm looking at, and we'll put this up on the screen, from the World Economic Forum, talking about how important this particular organization, FTX, was. But let me just tell you what I'm kind of reading here, and let's get your take on it. So apparently, the U.S. has sent hundreds of millions of dollars to the Ukraine. The Ukraine then invested that money. Oh, by the way, Ted, I noticed that none of that was earmarked. We don't have any track record of where our taxpayer dollars went in the Ukraine. But what we do know is the Ukraine has invested hundreds of millions of dollars with FTX, this cryptocurrency company. FTX then, in turn, invested into Democratic races, tens of millions of dollars, only second highest contributors to Democratic causes behind George Soros. And then FTX goes immediately Chapter 11 bankrupt after the midterm elections. So we've got Sam Bankman-Fried getting money from the Ukraine, dumping in American elections, supporting exclusively Democrats, and then bankrupting. So American tax dollars to the Ukraine. Ukraine gives that money to this FTX. FTX gets Dems elected in the midterms, and then they bankrupt. I'm having a hard time following it, Ted. I know our listeners are concerned. What's your take?
My take is, Keith, that when we started Nightly News, we were going to perform the most obvious and glaringly responsible duties, responsibilities, obligations of we the people. And we have a crack research team here at Nightly News. A big salute to you, Keith, Mark, and Tim and Josh and everybody who's involved with us, especially the people out there that support Nightly News. You have to tell everybody there is a Nightly News because we are addicted to truth, logic, and common sense. And every time we get on the Nightly News, you bring up another glaring, heartbreaking, toxic example of criminal corruption completely out of control by our government, particularly every minute of every day by the Democrat Party. And by the way, everybody out there, including all the really smart guys, it's not the Democratic Party. It's the Democrat Party. There's a difference between democratic, that's an adjective, and Democrat, that's a noun. A little update from the guitar player who didn't go to college because I was too busy learning stuff. Keith, we could go on forever for the next 30 years of my opening day deer hunting celebration and never run out of examples of this government, especially the Democrat Party, and I'm charging the Republicans also. Fix this stuff. Secure my border. Account for my hard-earned taxes. Stop the engineered recidivism. You've got to be kidding me. This is just another example. Money laundering for the Democrat Party by the Democrat Party in the United States of America through the gangster-infested Ukraine cluster crack. Let me ask
you this, Ted. After the 2016 election, all we heard was Russian interference in the election. Now, just very shortly after these midterms, we're talking tens of millions of dollars directly traced from the Ukrainian government to this FTX cryptocurrency company and immediately back into our elections. And so my question is to you, and I've gotten several emails from our listeners today. Do you believe that we can get new elections if this interference is true? This is clearly foreign interference, wouldn't it be, Ted? And then why can't we in our respective home states petition the Supreme Court to overturn this election? Let's come back and have free elections if there was this massive level of foreign interference.
Because we need more Ron DeSantis and Lauren Boeberts and Marjorie Taylor Greens and Carrie Lakes. We need more Mark Robinsons. We need more we the people demanding that clear and present legal response. We have to continue to spotlight the cockroaches, but you don't just spotlight the cockroaches and go, hey, honey, look, we got some spotlights on the cockroaches. What do you do when you spotlight cockroaches? You stomp them because they're dangerous to the health and spirit of humanity, the Democrat Party. And right now, it breaks my heart beyond description that Uncle Sam is a threat to the United States of America because Joe Biden and his gangster power abusing criminal punks are Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam is now, I could cry tears of blood, the enemy of America. We, the people, have to raise more hell because two things happened. The election was rigged and conservatives didn't show up like the army they're supposed to be. And it's shameful on both counts.
Well, Ted, you've raised a great point. And I want to come back tomorrow night and follow up on that. Yes, maybe some anecdotal ideas of what went right and what went wrong in the midterms. If you all come back tomorrow night, we're going to get some more of truth, logic, and common sense from Ted Nugent right here on the Nightly News, where there is absolutely no fake news.
There's no fake news, but there is the soundtrack for freedom, and it's now on vinyl. The Spirit of the Wild record, one of my best ever, is now available on vinyl at Record Store Day on the 25th of November. Some of the best songs in the history of animal breeding soundtracks. Ted Nugent's Spirit of the Wild, now on vinyl. I'm very proud of that.